If you're using dating apps in 2026, I want you to start dating like it's 2006. Let me explain. 20 years ago, it was before the invention of the iPhone. It was before we had dating apps. So, for people who were using the intranet to date, they were on traditional online dating websites. So, why do you care about this in 2026? The reason that I want you to follow these three tips I'm about to show you that are going to help you to date better and more successfully in 2026. This is using old advice, but bringing it forward because this is why it worked. So back in 2006, when people were using online dating websites like Match.com and OkCupid and Plenty of Fish and all of those old school websites, people had high intention. They were not getting on these websites to waste time. They weren't getting on these websites because everybody else was on it and they're like, oh, hey, I might as well check it out. Because back then, the bar to being on those sites was higher, right? It took more effort. It took more risk because there was still a stigma around being on an online dating website. There used to be a big joke that would be in people's profiles that said, hey, let's hurry up and, fall in love so we can delete this profile and pretend that we met somewhere else. I actually happen to know a couple who met on Match.com like 22 years ago, and they made up a story of how they met because they didn't want people to know that they met online. So how far have we come? So it is good that online dating has become destigmatized. However, it's also introduced a lot of people who are not serious and they're just doing it because that's what everybody else is doing. And they're doing it for entertainment and they're doing it because they're bored and they're doing it because they're curious. Oh, let's see how many likes I can get. And that is not for you, my lovers, my lover boys, my lover girls, my lover people. That is not going to work for you because if you are looking for something serious, if you're looking for a real connection in 2026, we can take a page from the way that people dated back in 2006. So here are my top 3 tips for you to bring some of that old school online dating energy into your dating app experience and make it better. Number 1, this is really, really basic. Take more time setting up your profile. There are so many apps right now that all you have to do is like link your profile to your Instagram, maybe, fill out a few things and then, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, your profile is live. And yeah, that's very convenient, but it also does not create any type of incentive to actually put a lot of effort into your profile. So if you are dating for something serious, you're going to want to put effort into your profile. You're going to want to take some time to think about, how am I actually expressing myself? Who am I speaking to? Am I actually speaking to the kind of person that I want to meet? Or am I trying to get as many matches as possible? Because that's what a lot of people are doing online, and that is not the way to be successful. So I really want you to get into that headspace of, okay, this is what I'm here for. This is who I want to meet. And then start to write a profile that speaks to that person. So many people are putting things in their profiles like, don't message me if this. I don't want to meet people who are this. Don't waste your precious time and energy and your precious little real estate in your profile talking about what you don't want. Talk about what you do, right? So take the time to paint a little bit of a picture of yourself, right? Who are you? What do you care about? What are you looking for? Who do you hope to meet? These are just really basic things that you can do in a couple of sentences, but that are going to speak to a person who's also like you, looking for something genuine beyond just the photos. Number 2. Okay, I touched on this in number 1, but this needs its own separate point. So make sure that you have the long game in mind here, right? So when a lot of people are getting on these dating apps, they want to get as many matches as possible. They want to be perceived as sexy as possible. They want to be perceived as exciting as possible. And yeah, and I'm certainly not telling you to be boring in your photos. However, you don't want to be a person that when somebody meets you in person, they're like, oh, they don't look as good as their photos. They have a totally different energy than they did in their profile because it wasn't really you. You were putting on what you thought you needed to put on to get a lot of matches. Getting a lot of matches is not the point. Getting the right matches is the point. So take it easy on the filters. Take it easy on the angles that are a bit deceiving and you're showing yourself in this really good light, but maybe when people meet you in person, they're kind of looking at you like, oh, are you the same person? You don't want to be that person. And I know it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking you want to make yourself look as great as possible. But I always tell my clients, and I'm telling you this now, that your dating profile photos should not be the greatest photos you've ever taken. I have myself gone on dates with people who I can see, I'm like, okay, this is the same person, but they literally chose the three greatest photos they've ever taken. And it's not really a true reflection of what they look like in real life. So you've got to remember the long game. You want people to be excited to meet you. You want people to say, wow, they look even better in person, and not say, oh, that's kind of what they look like, but I feel like maybe it wasn't so accurate. Okay. Number three, and this one is really, really important. And this speaks to the difference in the mindset of the typical dater on a website 20 years ago versus on a dating app today, is that you're not forgetting why you're there. I mean, it's really basic, right? But it's so easy to get into this gamified way of connecting with people, and you want to get so many matches, and you want to feel really in demand, and you like having lots of conversations going at the same time because you feel like, okay, the more people that I talk to, the better my chances are of meeting someone. And yes, dating is a numbers game to a certain extent, but if you were just in the habit of constantly swiping, constantly starting new conversations without actually taking the time to see, okay, the people that I've already connected with, is there something here? Do I actually want to move things forward and maybe talk on the phone if that's something that makes you feel comfortable? And dating apps today will give you options to talk through the app, so you don't even have to give out your number. They'll give you options to do video calls through the app, again, so you don't have to, to make it easy for you to protect your privacy. But ultimately, the point of being there, if you're looking for love, you're looking for a relationship, the point of being is that you're going to connect with somebody, and then you're going to online, right? Because you're not really meeting them online. It's not online dating because you're not going on a date until you actually go on a date, right? So it's not online dating, it's really online connecting. So when you actually connect with somebody, the goal should be, is this somebody that I want to go on a date with? So it's not about telling them your whole life story. It's not about trying to learn every single thing about them. It's just about asking a question of like, okay, have I built enough rapport with this person? Is there enough here that seems aligned? How are they communicating with me? Right? Are they proactive? Do they seem genuinely interested in getting to know me? Are they putting effort into this conversation? Because it should be a conversation, right? So if somebody sends you a message and they ask you a question and you just answer the question and you don't say anything else, that's not really a conversation, right? Like you're not giving and taking. And the same thing, if you are sending people messages and you're asking questions and they're answering the question maybe, but they're not asking you anything about yourself, that's a good sign. This person is probably not somebody that is going to be that interested in you, and that somebody you probably don't want to give a lot of time to and maybe not even go on a date with in the first place. So you'd never want to forget, this is the purpose of these apps, is so you can connect with somebody, you can have a little bit of a back and forth, build enough rapport to decide, am I ready to meet this person in person? And if you are, then do that, because that's the point. And you don't want to get stuck in a trap of just, now you're on the apps and all you're doing is swiping, swiping, swiping. I call this swiping into the void. No more swiping into the void in 2026. Okay. So make those matches, start those conversations, and let them progress to a point where you either say, okay, this person is a no. If they're a maybe, then what information do you need to get in order for them to get to a yes? But if you're like, yeah, this is somebody that I'd be interested in going and having a drink with, a cup of coffee with. I know people say coffee dates are boring. Coffee dates are not boring unless you are. So don't be boring. And the point of a date when you're meeting somebody for the first time is really just to get a sense of each other's vibe, right? Like, okay, yeah, okay, I think there's something here. And now I'm ready to invest more time and more effort in spending more time with this person. So don't forget why you were on the apps in the first place. It's not just to swipe, it's not just to get likes, it's not just to pass time, it's not just because that's what everybody says that you should be doing. It's because you're there to meet someone, and you can. So take these three tips from the past. So just imagine going that little time machine 20 years ago, and that's how you would be successful on a dating website in 2006. And that's how you can be successful on an online dating website in 2026. So Take time with your profile, super important. Put some effort into it. If you want to get good results, you're going to have to be willing to put in some effort. Say something about yourself that is meaningful and that is speaking to the kind of person that you want to meet. Number two, make sure that your photos are really representing who you are. Give something of your personality, of your vibe, of your style. Do not try to get the photos that get the most likes and the most attention, because those photos are going to be way too generic. And make sure that you're not misrepresenting yourself in any way with the filters and the angles and the lighting. Show them who you are. Who you are is beautiful. And the people who are going to be down for you are the people who are going to see that in. And last but not least, do not forget the point of being on a dating app in the first place. If you're looking for love, if you're looking for connection, if you're looking for a real relationship, make sure that you are dating with that in mind and you're not falling into the trap of just continuing to swipe and swipe and swipe, but you're swiping, you're getting some matches, and then you're communicating with those people to see, is there something here that warrants moving forward and actually going on a date and getting to know each other in person? And if not, then nope, then unmatch them, move on, but make sure that you're not just going forward, and just continuing to swipe without investing time in the matches that you already have. Okay, that is my advice for you today. I want to make sure that you stay, because the next, in like 10 seconds or less, you are going to have your heart work for this week, which is the question for you to reflect on as you embark on this next phase of your online dating journey in 2026. Good luck, my lovers. Happy dating.